Okay, LNG with the Senna this time. You gotta love the 380 carry bands against Light. You got 580 carry bands in total this game, so not going to be any kind of Aphelios, Melio shenanigans this time around. Viego picked super early? No. Okay.
Isn't Azir something that we haven't seen linked on really at all so far in this series?
All right, Weibo gonna have to ban the Vi now. LNG has to ban Tristana. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, to me,
they're gonna ban Aatrox instead, so they're just gonna give them the Vi.
That's if they wanted to just
who could have seen this coming. It's now LNG.
So they're just gonna take Maokai instead because it hasn't been banned.
Rumble, those kind of being the two big ones, which they've obviously already both
Gwen
shown.
As well. Do it for
Kaisa? No way.
All these AD carry bands.
Really? Dude. Kanik Rookern has so much value this game. Rookern completely broken.
5v5 around the early objective timers. That's what feels like where they will be most.
Where's the damage on LNG? You joking? You think Azir and Senna can't pump the damage in the late game?
Grubs and maybe like rotating Crisp up at that time, since Gala and Mark won't be able to put a ton of pressure down in that 2v2. So LNG have a lot of scaling advantages there.
If you build Rookern, Weibo can't do shit to you.
Later on, they'll be able to lean on the pressure that the Nar's putting up insides.
Loss timeline side definitely this too.
I'm also expect us to see a much more aggressive.
There's been some real bozo objective control in these games, guys.
Definitely agree with that one. On the other side, LNG.
The Kaisa is so wacky. I mean, I get that there were 5 ADC bans here, but
to what we saw from Weibo last game, right? Weibo kind of being quite aggressive with this.
Trying to take Kaisa Corki together, like sure they both have mixed damage, but when there's the brand jungle, MR has such a crazy value.
I mean, the composition from LNG just screams team fight at you. And in the break,
is Gnar actually good? Yeah, we've seen some good Gnar games from people this year.
From the center, and you were literally saying to it, I'd love to see more Azir with Hail of Blades so that you've got a little bit more early and mid-game presence from your mid laner to allow center to scale up. Well, LNG, I'm giving you it with a bow on
You're
top.
right. It's actually, I didn't even realize this is literally what we just talked about. But yeah, I feel like, Azir's been hit so many times over the years, just being a staple in pro play, that a lot of the early and like mid-game power that he used to have more of that, right? Even if he always has been more of like a scaling mage.
Rookern got nerfed, guys, on 14.3, but it's not a nerf.
Makes up for that a little bit. Going to be able to go for a lot of these nice trades.
Rookern
try and supplement some of that damage. I also really want to highlight
Rookern does it's basically the same, guys. It got nerfed from 12-second cooldown to 15-second cooldown and shield power from 20% bonus HP to 18%. It basically didn't get nerfed.
Damage and already a cleanse burnt on that center.
Those nerfs are a joke.
Retrade on the backside of it, and Chris burning down with the ignite. He'll walk away with his life, but man, what looked like such a good trade for Weibo goes disastrously in the end.
I'm not able
to trade on the back. Oh, Gala might have stepped up a little bit too far here. Knock up big damage and already a cleanse burnt on that center, but a good retrade on the backside.
Totally not worth it too, because the sustain in lane that's going to be coming in from Senna.
Man, what looked like such a good trade for Weibo goes disastrously in the end.
I'm not able to pull it through.
Senna has fleet footwork as well. I mean, just the sustain is so crazy from LNG's side.
So they're feeling like they're in a great spot. Still, Weibo able to hit level 2 first, so they will maintain control over the lane. And having pressure bot, having pressure in mid, enabling this brand is really what they're going to be built off of.
Halo Blades on his ears just for early game Corki harassment. Corki already chunked out and backed.
On this game, like in the matchup, especially when you're mini Narc, you have a lot of space to try and hit that tower. If Weiwei uses that priority up top, and if Scout can get priority in the mid lane as well, you have a lot of space to go for early grubs, and Gnar will use those grubs so well across the course of the game in a side lane. There's a lot of potential for great macro and map play out from LNG later on if they can stack up some of those grubs.
Yeah, and I kind of want to keep the focus on top lane just for a second, even though we're not going to see anything happen there at all. Just to point out that we have also seen
Nar
more
was
Nar
like the
start to
original
grow some
Cassante
matchups even against
lane
Cassante
counter
as
pick
well,
when Cassante
because
was
it's
released.
very easy. Mini Nar, if Zika even gives a slight window where he isn't already whittling him down, you pop the ghost, you can land that Q3, and then even with the flash, like you said, it's so hard to escape these top laners that are running ghost right now.
Yeah, it's really difficult, especially if you're sort of in the middle of the lane. There's so much of top lane to chase you down over. And most of them, like Cassante, Udyr, they're quite happy to go for a dive. They're quite happy to tank like 3, 4, maybe even 5 tower shots, especially a little bit later on in the laning phase. So it can become an incredibly difficult situation. Gnar, on the other hand, does have to hop as well. So a lot of the time you are a little bit safer. So Zika is going to go with the flash. The one thing I will say is for Gnar, the flash in a team fight later on becomes invaluable.
Oh, I mean, I agree, yeah. It does feel game-changing, which obviously for LNG, they are playing for those moments. They're completely fine with Weiwei just full clearing his jungle, shadowing for some of his lanes, just trying to make sure that nothing goes awry. Scout going to do a nice job trying to hold this wave here.
That cost him a lot of HP. That's
Yeah.
a third of his HP to hold that wave there. So Scout does have a health potion in his pocket, so should be able to sustain up a little bit. Xiaohao gonna get aggressed upon by Weiwei. Has the phase rush, so he can sort of get away with it. Although the electrocute was procced by Xiaohao as well.
Not a whole lot of mana for Xiaohu, though. So I think even tanking some of that HP for Scout is worth. Like, sure, you have the cookie there for Xiaohu to get that back, but is going to have to go for the reset. Now gives him a better position to play off this wave from, with Xiaohu not having TP.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised to see Zika going for the fleet footwork rather than grasp in this matchup. Like, I'm not a top laner. I don't know this matchup super well. I'm not going to claim to be.
You need fleet footwork, I think.
But you think you'll have quite a lot of opportunity to just get those.
Thank you, Carito VSM, for resubscribing. Much love for the content. Yeah, we've been pumping out the content, guys. We got edited videos, VOD channel, podcasts, 4 Horsemen. I'm going so hard, guys.
I know we've seen it this split. Sadly, we just have so many games with like so many similar drafts. You know, I can't remember when it happened.
I think you need fleet footwork just for kiting against the Cassante, because once he uses Ghost, it can be very, very difficult.
A potential option. Double support items once again from the LNG bottom lane. Light, though, not going to go for the support item on the Kai'Sa. Instead, going to go for the Cull. Kind of the opposite strategy here. Well, I guess it's kind of... Fundamentally, it's a similar idea, right? You're
Thanks, Azure Catalyst, for adding those emotes. I appreciate it. Nice of you to spend your time doing that.
In the mid lane there. It does mean Light will be able to farm all game long, whereas Gala will not. Well, I guess he will, but just reduced gold.
Yeah, so still both going to be definitely generating gold early on. Scout now has Emperor's Divide, which always sets up for the plays to come out, but he definitely didn't expect Xiaohao to be waiting in the wings. Looks like Weibo trying to set up some kind of pressure on bot lane to lean in and maybe relieve this push coming out on top of Crisp and Light, because that is a massive wave.
Yeah, huge wave there. But Light will be there to clean things up. LNG could use the wave, though, to grab themselves a Drake in this early game. Slow and steady wins the race for LNG here, and their draft really screams that at you. They are playing for the long game. Crisp, potentially trying to move in here. Just takes a huge chunk for his trouble, though, but might be able to reset this Drake, and LNG actually forced away by this.
Yeah, great movement coming out from Weibo. Even Xiaohu leaned down a little bit. I wonder if that played into it at all, because you can see Scout doesn't have any vision around his lane for himself. It is all in Weibo's favor. And for Weibo, this makes sense, right? You don't necessarily want to fight right now. Despite the fact that their comp, I feel like, does come online a little bit earlier, it's still about playing around those package timings. Still about setting up for those big moments for you to really just spread LNG apart in a team fight.
Yeah, waiting for those big moments. But enough anyway that they could dissuade anything. Up on the top side for the second grub spawn, but I wonder if we do see LNG focusing really hard on trying to get that second round of grubs, or if they'll perhaps trade instead and go for the Drake. I wonder if Weibo as well will contest in a big way.
I think at this point, when LNG, that'd be great. Like you pointed out, having that Gnar, he's going to be hitting turret, like the opportunity's there. And hell, I guess if Weibo or LNG take it any earlier, then it probably won't have to come to a trade. They're waiting 50 seconds right now on the next spawns.
We'll see if anyone's able to grab those grubs. I'm sure someone will go. It's been a slow burn.
Ah, man, these games have been really slow in the early game.
It really is saying something. The record for the latest first blood in the LPL is 33 minutes in. Xiaohao wanted to make sure that they're not on that record. Scout getting a knockback onto Xiaohu in the mid lane.
Flash W dead.
And there we go. All we had to do was say the record, and we instantly cursed it. Scout grabbing first blood.
Not using that flash, not expecting the follow-up to be there from Weiwei. And it was there incredible.
Well, I mean, he was...
Which really is saying something. The record for the...
He was expecting death when he saw the Maokai ult. Like, where is he gonna flash to? If he flashes this way, he gets hit by Maokai ult. If he flashes this way, he dies. So I think Xiaohu's smart. Don't use flash there.
Not using that flash, not expecting the follow-up to be there from Weiwei. And it was there incredibly fast. So, nice play coming out from LNG, which is now going to let them pivot back down towards the spot side. Looks like that's where they're
Doa has the old OGN emotes on his channel.
They might even find Crisp.
Oh, Crisp has, in fact, been found, but the crash down does
there you go.
To safety in the meantime, Xiaohao up in the top side will get these grubs.
Doa was the one who made those emotes for OGN in the first place, by the way. He made those.
Not going to go down, so 3 groups apiece here.
So he has them.
Yeah, gets pushed over, now starts seeing the roots, doesn't even have time to flash after that, right? Before that, not even having to read that way he was going to go for that play. Xiao himself didn't have vision in that brush. But I'm really surprised that LNG...
Everyone subscribe to Doa. I'll ask him for OGN Kakakel because he doesn't have that one.
For them, as we can see, right, Zika still just doing so much work in this 1v1.
Yeah, feeling fantastic for Zika. Xiaohao moving up, but spotted on a ward, so Zika should be relatively safe here.
What if he just flashed the shuffle? Yeah, but he wasn't expecting that he was going to die because he didn't think Maokai was there. That's why he didn't do it.
Going to be spotted on the Tribrush ward, or at least spotted that he's not there on the ward. Light could be in trouble, though. Flash immediately, followed by a top flash, and gobbled up. Mark is feeling aggressive. The root comes in. The Q is there.
Oh!
The damage. Oh, but Gala flashing under the tower. 3 summoners, but a kill nonetheless.
Mark catching Light, sleeping there. My God, finds the opportunity, and now be able to get just even more plays.
How hard Runic shits on Kai'Sa's HP missing % damage versus tanks. Exactly. She's mixed damage no matter how you build her, guys.
But I definitely feel like we're seeing
She's mixed damage no matter how you build her. So like Rookern is like giga broken
We certainly are. Big
against their composition.
In that top side, you can see CS deficit, but I believe a couple of plates taken as well by Zika. We've just seen a plate taken at the bottom side. A kill there as well. A kill for Scout in the mid lane. It's all looking pretty good as Crisp rooted up.
Also, Veil on Azir is going to have a lot of value.
I think at this point.
Yeah.
Denied that by Crisp.
Not going to be able to go for the reset, but at least finally a dragon. But again, I feel like we've seen a lot of these like later first drakes, not the super impactful. But I guess with the fact that the grubs end up being a wash kind of just equalizes everything.
Scout?
Oh.
That was a bit of a weird one between the mid laners. Oh my goodness. Xiaohu decides he doesn't want this.
Tried to be fancy there with his ult.
I think Scout ulted just a split second too early.
That's what it
looked like. The package was
like.
still in play.
Yeah, gonna go back to the replay here. Spot them walking over, come in, has to burn the flash right away. It was a very nice flash, but doesn't account for Mark being able to follow up, swallow him whole. And I didn't think LNG were gonna get it, but in the end, Gala flashes to guarantee shield from the Guardian there too to make sure that the damage from turret is minimized. Just nice things to see from, again, this like old reunited bot lane duo of Gala and Mark.
Yeah.
All right, look at this too. There's just more CS overall, so 150 CS compared to 111, right, in these lanes. Plus you have the double support items. It's leading to a very large gold lead for this point in the game, like 3,000 gold lead, right? In addition to the 2 kills.
Players, there is a window for a kill. There is a window for aggression, and I love that Gala and Mark, even on the center Tom Kench, are looking for those opportunities.
I also think Tom Kench, especially can, set up to be a bit more of an aggressive champion to be able to go in and look for those opportunities. But like you said, it doesn't really matter what you're playing. You got to be willing some key ones, right? Xiao with Leandries especially. That's when Brand.
We've got an all-in on the bottom side. Zika, mini knock.
First break points for LNG as well.
Some big damage.
Catches him. He's actually recalling right here.
We've got an all-in on the bottom side. Zika, mini nod. Doesn't even have anything in the nod.
Dodges Q3. Still dies. Not even a completed item yet for Zika. Iceborne onto ZDZ. It's a nice 1v1. Catches him though. Catches him though. Probably shopping.
All out. You have the increased damages coming through. He already has the Iceborne Gauntlet, which is going to enable him even more. Just so hard. As mini Nard to feel safe in that 1v1. ZDZ does have TP if Weibo opted into trying to contest this, but looks like
Genji versus Kwangdong is on. Yeah, we're almost done, guys.
Would also be able to join too.
He said hopefully.
Quite an awkward position to take this fight. Herald, but then again, Weibo showing some presence. Mark and Gala split from their team, but a TP means Weibo suddenly.
Light has to burn cleanse at the start of the fight. Zika's here on the flank. They do get the Herald play, but Weiwei's in the middle of them.
I don't think they'll get the eye, and I don't think they'll get a fight either. They're trying to flee for their lives, but the slow comes down onto Xiao.
That's so risky, I feel, from Weibo.
Weibo, bit of a hit and run on Herald. Take down the objective, can't grab the eye, but deny it from LNG. Zika can't quite chase Xiao, who
ZDZ was waiting to see if he needed TP. TP's bot lane instead.
Out of this, it looks like it'll potentially. Okay, no. So Weibo will be able to defend. So it feels weird to call it a net. Okay, good. I was gonna say. God.
Oh, dear. Just
have the smell of that last play, but I guess they technically did. They got a tower.
Yeah. I'd say they did. Oh, I don't think they'll come out on top of this play, though. Xiao Hu has the flash, but no way out of this one. What is that damage on the scout? I mean, I guess he gets a knock.
Things to disrupt the more traditional Xiao Hu
On the Kai'Sa. Not only will it be popping off on Kai'Sa against Gala, who's one of our best modern Kai'Sas, but also just showing that Kai'Sa's still viable, right? Like, we've really not seen much Kai'Sa at all this year.
Yeah.
This is literally the second game of Kai'Sa. Going for the Kraken Slayer. It, like, can be an AD carry that can function extremely well in these kind of front-to-back situations. However, quite low range. You're against a Senna and an Azir.
Look at that Veil Rush.
And even playing like the assassination kind of route, jumping the back line, like there's a Tom Kench, there is a Maokai, there's an Emperor's Divide. There's so many things to stop that as Weibo.
Yeah, we've got a TP with the package to the mid lane, but it's
Like there's a
kind of front-to-back situations.
Okay, let's take a look at this Drake right here.
yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
And even playing like the assassination kind of route, jump to the back line, like there's a Tom Kench, there is a Maokai, there's an Emperor's Divide.
So it's free.
So many
LNG gets a second Drake. First Drake, excuse me. And they walk away. Crisp gets a massive engage there. But it doesn't matter because only ZDZ is there. They counter-engage with the Maokai ult. Xiao Hao cannot get Brand ult off. Finally does.
Shields across the team. They finally no, they don't even get scout. He's gobbled up by Mark. Light, you got to do something, and he does. Finds himself a shot down onto the mid lane, but it's traded one.
This is so dangerous. Gala can chase him down.
Gala now chasing down, has the slow. ZDZ 1 HP, but Light gets a bit of damage back onto Gala. They're burning. The W comes in.
Scary. You know, if it would have been a really good engage if the rest of Weibo's damage dealers had been able to catch them clustered up like that in the tri-brush just a little bit earlier.
Winning a battle of inches. But this to me is like where the idea from Weibo is amazing. The timing, the execution is slightly off. A lot of it being Xiao Hu was still so far when Chris has to go for the engagement. Like this was the perfect time for Rel.
Yeah, I mean, look at that too. They get 4 people pushed back. Force the Azir ult, but there's just no damage, you know? Package comes in and just they nuke Xiao Hu because they're already out of the choke point.
There's nothing you could do there, I think, other than either get to the fight sooner or hold the package a bit longer, be able to actually fly across the screen and get yourself in safe range. but that's not what happened, and it led us to all these shenanigans where Gala is or too long. Was still so far when Chris passed to go for the engagement. Like, this was the perfect time for Rel to go in. I feel like he should have waited to package, but that might have been too long because with
He couldn't wait to package, I don't think.
right in the middle, he could snarl like
And it doesn't matter if he packages to his death if he does massive AoE with the package guys, and then the rest of his team can clean up.
Because with where he starts it, he ends right in the middle. He could snarl like there's nothing you could.
Yeah, I don't know if Jahu had time to TP bot lane, guys, because the wave wasn't in an amazing place. Like, if he ends up over here, I still don't think it's great.
Because with where he starts it, he ends right.
Yeah, by the time you get channel, they may be out of range. It's just really awkward. They just weren't there quite fast enough. It was potentially an absolutely amazing play, but the timing was just very slightly off. Look at Raptors at the start of what? Like, he's not going to TP to Raptors now. He wouldn't get there in time. Like, the play is going now. Crisp is here. No, he's not going to TP to Raptors.
A lot of it being Xiaohu was still so far when Chris passed to go for the engagement.
The idea was good, and the execution was almost really good.
Either get to the fight sooner or hold the package a bit longer, be able to actually fly across the screen and get yourself.
It was almost really good.
Safe range.
Bummer.
But that's not what happened, and it led us to all these shenanigans where Gala is just untouched the whole time.
There was a route that came out from Gala there that was like an inch away from hitting them, and they're grouped together at that point.
Yeah.
If the route hits, it hits everyone. That would have been devastating. I mean, honestly, if that route doesn't matter what nearly happened, all that matters is what actually happened. Xiaohu is looking to make it happen onto Gala. Both solo laners find solo kills simultaneously.
So Malignance is done. It was Banshee's Veil seconds. That's, I think, probably the best idea in this scenario.
Oof. Dodges away from the Q3. It couldn't have been closer.
That would have been madness. Madness if ZDZ pulled that one out. But now, with those two deaths, they can look for the siege in mid, trying to dissuade it with Weiwei's ult, but this Maokai ult is not going to do anything to stop the push coming through from Is he going to run him down with the all out? Great job. Dodging out on the upper side here.
I think it's a kill.
Surprising. Don't get any Corki anymore.
Corki mid.
Yeah,
we can dream, but I don't know. We can dream, but I don't think it's happening. Scout shown over towards the Baron area, but I don't think Weibo believe anything's going on right now. The Kai'Sa incredibly quick at that. Xiaohu as well. A bit of an awkward spot, but they'll be okay. They don't want to overcommit to a tank.
Yeah, and you can see LNG leaned back into side. Scout just pushed that wave up and top. That's going to have to be answered. Zika still down there now with the TP. So Weibo were really hoping to find some kind of, you know, even if not like a full-on fight, get some kind of engage, try to force that Gnar up here. But now,
This is clever. This is very clever from LNG.
I love this. Just 2-mana. Your Azir is really the only one that's doing any significant Baron damage anyway.
They do sense it, though, and use Blue Trinket to find it.
they're just,
But hey,
like,
I like the idea.
they're also keeping more time where the Gnar just gets to push for free. I mean, now that wave, they're actively losing gold and experience in bot side, and now that's what Dragon on the table.
Yep, now you get to reset after pushing bot wave out.
The Void Krabbies. And Drake spawning on the map.
What are they doing? They just don't feel like taking advantage of this tempo? They just gonna give up Drake? What?
Now they have Dragon, but as we saw, right, Xiaohu having the package, they might be able to lean up for an aggressive, you know, kind of bait around Baron.
That's such a weird call.
Yep, they'll be able to go for this.
What items did they get?
Don't want to
Be hoping to
Your Azir is
push for free. I mean,
like you say, just
Like, you love that, so they go back. Senna, Tom, Maokai. They don't even buy any items. They don't even really get anything off of that. I guess he finishes Anathemas. Mark finishes Anathemas. But the Maokai doesn't get much.
In the area, they'll be able to go for this crab to make sure that they clear any wards in the area with the Void Krabbies. And they'll be able to get onto the Drake themselves.
oh, and this is nice because now they have Dragon, but as we saw, right, Xiaohu having the package, they might be able to lean up for an aggressive, you know, kind of bait around Baron. Doesn't look like they're setting up for anything like that, but would have been a pretty nice.
Just kind of an awkward timing to just take a stab at Baron while pushing out bot side and then mass recall into losing Drake.
I'm going to go for anything, though. And I feel like both teams have kind of just accepted the reality of this series and said, look, guys.
As expected, we have Rookern
Go in a late game.
finished first here.
I don't think the result of this series will change much, but maybe how Xiaohu plays it, because we've seen some Corkis that...
Corki's full send, which is great to watch, but is like not great for the Corki's chance of winning the fight.
Yeah, it's also just not what this build is designed to do. Like,
no, not at all.
Oh,
Nice engage from Scout.
good flash from Scout.
Now it's free Baron.
Of winning the fight.
Yeah, it's also just not what this build is designed.
What a good blue ward, guys. The value of this blue ward is huge.
Like,
No, not at all.
Really nice by Scout, too. Just preempts the flash, knows that Zhao has flash up,
this build is designed to do.
preempts it, pushes him in. Instant annihilation. Free Baron. Very, very good. Very good by Scout.
That's going to be Baron for LNG.
Because you know that if he doesn't flash, he's dead. And if he does flash, maybe he lives, so you just flash as well.
But I think LNG should be able to get this just fine. Looking at Chris.
Xiaohu looking for rockets here. 7k on the Baron. There is no smite the side of Weibo, so the objective should go to LNG. We're looking at the fight, but even that.
Holy shit, what happened there?
Looking at Chris.
Xiaohu looking for rockets here. We're looking at.
How did that happen? Was that just a rocket? Is that a big one? Yes, it was a big one. Holy smokes, dude. Actually terrifying. It gets hit by a big one. And Weiwei actually does smite it, but that is crazy close.
Just in a straight up 4v5. Rockets coming on through. ZDZ pulls someone out of the pit. They're trying to find these fights, but Crisp getting whittled down here. Mark gobbles up his teammate, trying to save him as Crisp will fall. Weiwei still going on this one, as everybody's slowly falling down. But it's LNG still winning.
Didn't he get it with the Q? I mean, he did smite it.
Rockets here, 7k on the Baron. There is no smite the side of Weibo, so the objective should go to LNG. We're looking at the
No, he smites it.
fight, but even that is a 4v5. Baron taken, and now Weibo just in a straight.
And they pick up the fight.
It's embarrassing.
I kind of feel
Scout
like
making the hero plays this game. Zhao who makes the hero plays game one. Scout makes the hero plays this game.
Honestly, Mark, not ideal. They're doing that extra bit of damage. They didn't manage to get that third Drake, though. So, Drake, not really the objective. Oh, the root on Corky's kind of huge. And they'll probably take it as a consolation prize. But realistically, they want to get sieging with this Baron, and the roots are going to set up for exactly that. Oh, the root on Corky's kind of huge. And that's some big old damage coming out from Gala in this stage.
And with the Senna, so
Feel challenging. And I mean, this is the strength of the composition. We said it right at the start that LNG, you know, conceding everything in the early game and allowing Weibo to take control. They contested just enough, put enough pressure on that Weibo.
It was the first Ori win of this split in LPL. Really? That's crazy. I didn't realize that. It's been so strong in LCK.
The answer that they found after so many 80 carries were banned, it does.
easier Hellblades as compared to the Oriana.
It's so strong right now, too. It's like strong in lane, strong in late game. It's probably just because it's banned a lot.
A lot more threat this game than it felt like Weibo stand for Weibo.
Package TP from Xiaohu arrives on the scene. You're absolutely right. I think this is the
Rookern's for everybody. Rookern for Zika. Rookern here. Rookern being built here.
last bitch effort. Ooh, big damage onto Gala. Follow-up rocket dodge, though. Gala take it down to half now, but he does have a lot of sustain on that center. Drake taken by Weibo. That is soul point. Really no siege potential against this Corki. He can clear the wave so easily.
Yeah, they're going to have to look for an engage, which is what they're doing.
Yeah, the roots come on in, and actually they're just going to shred this tower. The cannon alone is enough. And now...
Nice job covering the turret with the Maokai ult.
Honestly, kind of the last few have been the most insane.
So you get a couple towers off of that. Now we're going to play for Baron spawn.
Does feel like a bit of a challenge, doesn't it? It does feel like LNG just have control at this point, despite the Drake going the way of Weibo. The amount that they lost to get that Drake doesn't feel massively worth it. Question is, can they get onto Gala? Crisp is here, and ZDZ on the Safari flank himself. And he's found a bird. The aviary comes
Wow.
big for them. Scout taken down.
Huge, huge flank.
Question is, can they get onto Gala? Crisp is here, and ZDZ on the Safari flank himself. And he's
Light 2 with the ults right in on top of him.
big for them. Scout taken down, another huge pick onto the LNG mid laner. Xiaohu will not give him a break today. And now Weibo with a pick onto the mid laner. Is it enough? They lost so
No,
much
because
HP.
Gala's just too massive right now.
Set on the range that Gala's playing with, they can't deal with it.
Yeah, Senna's range is just such a problem. Look at that.
Such a nuisance. Pushes top, pushes mid. They have to go for these resets, and they're getting canceled.
Oh my god, they get caught after recalling. Holy moly.
Just to try and start something.
Zika is being such a nuisance.
Wow, zero respect.
Afraid of this set on the range that
Zero
Gala's
respect
playing
from
with, they
Weibo.
Can't deal with it. But look at
They literally see Gala right there.
Zika is being such a nuisance. Pushes
And then they watch her place a ward, and then they don't cancel recalls.
these resets, and they're getting canceled.
They're actually trolling.
Range that Gala's
They are
playing with,
actually
they
trolling,
can't deal
guys.
with it. But look at the minimap. Zika is being such a nuisance. Pushes top.
Why are you not canceling your recalls? You have time.
These resets, and they're getting canceled.
Oh no, this is going to be kills right here. Crisp goes in just to try and start something. But he's taken down. And Weibo with greedy recalls
To go for these
punished heavily.
swing might have been a push towards the Baron. They just can't deal with the set at this point. She's just too big. It's chunked out. Now it's going to be Baron for the side of LNG. And they can keep that siege going like they were before.
1,000 gold.
Up on the map and making Weibo have to make difficult decisions. Like we
Chris
said,
saves his
Gala
team
is
here,
in
sure.
range. Sadly, Chris ends up
He has to
missing.
sacrifice himself or they pretty much all die, probably.
Targets involved. It is done.
But I mean, the rest of his team just like recalling there and then not canceling recalls when they see that ward coming over the wall and they just saw Senna autoing the pink ward in the try. That is terrible.
My God, like
You got to just stay as a unit in that point in time.
They really can't. They really can't. 4 items with a bit of lethality. It's a terrifying side laner. Even if he does, like the pressure from the rest of this team.
so much like space that they assault. Gala's gonna hit
Weibo, but honestly, Weibo, unless they can find some kind of assuming that's for the package, TP available for him. But I don't think Weibo can pull the trigger.
not gonna go for it, and I guess to be fair, this is gonna push LNG to have to be more proactive. I was wondering if they send Nara up the top side, have him answer that wave, and try and play out through that setup to try and break all the inhibitors at a similar time. But Gala is just again, it just feels like Weibo don't really have the ways to deal with them. It's gonna be up to this package, but Xiao gets set up.
Here we go, package TP, the Safari flank once more goes to the Wolf enclave.
All right, so now they actually have package.
But here we go, the roots come in, and it's already over. It's already. Here we go, package TP, the Safari flank once more goes to the Wolf enclosure first. But here we go, the roots come in, and it's already over.
Just catch the Maokai ult.
Who's too late to the play.
Strongest engage in the game of League of Legends.
Goes down, Xiao, who arrives, big damage on Scout, but can they finish the job? The
I know I said Ornn ult was earlier today, but Maokai ult actually is the strongest engage in League of Legends.
Versus the world, the malignants burning away at the minion wave, as well as Xiao, who desperately
And the
tries to
amount of
clear
money
it.
difference is
Baron
just so huge with the double supports.
The minion wave's no longer tanky enough, and somehow Weibo kept.
They buy it, didn't get layered. out.
Nothing. This game will never end, guys.
But LNG
Exactly.
they've
Yeah.
launched the rabbit back.
I mean, you're not gonna.
The slowest closeout of all time.
Crisp is the one that takes the damage in the end, but Weiwei slowly getting whittled down by Light. Zika trying to threaten. Brandel, it's not quite enough, and in goes Light to try and save the day, but the twisted advance dodges the double.
I don't think I would have gone on in Kai'Sa ult when I knew that TK ult was still up there.
Just getting taken down by the Winions. This is going to be 3 inhibs if LNG lost 2. Odds right. It's getting worse and worse for Weibo. Another flank, but he's totally on his own.
What can you do, man? It's the Hail Mary play.
Much all out, but it's into the entire team of LNG.
Trying to find.
Now, surely it's over now, he said.
At this point, Zika
Okay, thank God.
and Weibo go out. Phenomenal engage from the top
Guys, next week the other regions should be on 14.2, I would imagine. I can't imagine LCK and LPL are going to stay on this patch for too much longer. So the curse of the double supports should be over.